Have you ever found yourself generously answering all the questions of a colleague or a peer or a boss, and you're giving your unique selling proposition, the way you reach conclusions, the way you use the system, and how you approach the problem, only to find out in your horror that this person took everything that you gave them and leveraged it for their own career success without giving you any credit. It sucks, doesn't it? Today, we will dive into how to share without compromising or sabotaging your own career. I'm Dr. Mrinalini Garg. I am a career advancement and leadership coach for South Asian professionals who are ambitious but find themselves stuck in the middle management box because they are not seen as leadership material. They are unable to establish an executive presence and are not seen as a leader. I help change that for them by helping them use your voice, by speaking up confidently, by shifting their identity and feeling that they are the right candidate for that next level. So let's talk about how to share without compromising. So let's say a colleague comes to you and they come and start asking you questions about a project that you're working on, about a technology that you are familiar with, or some other knowledge that you have, and they come and start asking you questions. The number one thing I want you to remember is that go with the assumption that there are no friends in your company. And this might sound very harsh, but this is the harsh reality. Because let's just be honest. Let's say there's an opportunity, you have certain kind of experience, this other person who you feel or that person seems to be like your friend, and the opportunity is presented to both of you. Do you think that person is going to actually say that no, I'm not a great fit, but Rajesh is, or Suman is, or Ritika is, please promote her? Is that gonna happen? No. So let's have a realistic mindset and make sure that you are advocating for yourself, you are keeping your success as a priority. Because really, if you apply for job interviews, do you go with the mindset that when I get this job, I want to make 10 friends? No, right? So the only reason you're working for a company is because you want to utilize your skills to grow in the company, to help the company grow, and support your family financially. That's the only reason why we work. So having that mindset is very important. Now, let's take the situation where a colleague actually comes and starts asking questions or they're looking for help. The very first thing you want to know is what is the purpose? Why are they coming to you? Why do they need that help? Why? Because we want to understand how the information that you share or the expertise that you share, how is that going to be used? Let me give you an example. I had a colleague, let's call him Steve. One day, it was actually evening, almost at the end of the day, and he reached out to me and he started talking about a project that we had worked on together, but I was the lead and I did 95% of the work and I created the slides and everything. And he came and started asking me questions. So, point by point, so how did you do this? Why did you come to this conclusion? And then he asked me, can I have the presentation deck? And I really did not understand why he was doing that. Eventually, I found out that he was interviewing for a job and he was going to use my slides to present that as his own work, right? Remember, we are all human beings, right? And we focus on our own advancement, right? That's who we are. Just let's just accept this is a part of being human, right? So we want to be really careful about why someone is coming to us and asking for our expertise or or looking for help from us. So really understand what the purpose is. And if that purpose does not align with your growth, you want to be cautious about how much time, how much effort you are going to put in to help this person bring up to speed. Now, of course, if you are the boss and you have teams that you want to work with, of course, the knowledge sharing should happen. But also remember that when you're sharing it with your colleagues or peers, remember that you are not giving away your unique selling proposition. I will have a conversation on what is unique selling proposition in another video, but your unique selling proposition is you, the uniqueness that you bring to any project. How do you approach the problem? What is your specific skill set? Because you can see, if we think about Excel, right? Let's take a simple tool as Excel. Your level of understanding of Excel, whether you're using codes, whether you are using formulae, the way you use it is going to be very different from others. The advancement level would be very different. So you want to make sure that you are not giving away the whole recipe to others, that someone would take it, run away with it, make it their own, and then you are wiped out. They take the credit for all your work. So you want to be very cautious when it comes to sharing your knowledge with others. Now, this is a hard thing to do, I understand, especially as South Asians, because we are humble, we want to give, we are brought up to be kind and generous, and it's all good. You can be all of that. But the only thing I want you to remember is that you are not doing it at your own cost. You are not sabotaging your career by giving everything away. So that's the very first thing. You need to understand what is the purpose? Why is this person coming to you to get the help? The next thing you want to know is you are responsible for your professional growth, for your time. So you have to protect both like a hawk. You want to figure out how much time commitment you can actually give. If you have a lot of things on your own plate, setting aside time to train this other person or teach this other person, is that really in your best interest or even the other person's best interest? You really want to think about it. So, how would you go about it? You basically want to understand what is the purpose. You will get an idea about what kind of time commitment it will require. And you can basically say that, hey, I would love to help you, but I do not have the bandwidth right now. Maybe we can meet the next week or in a month or so. Or you can say that, I have given this down here, provide some resources that they can study on their own. We will go into the details of that. But you want to make sure that you are not, if you're already overworked, taking this responsibility on is not going to work in your favor. You want to look for, when you ask the purpose, if you do feel so, here's the thing, right? You should always be looking for opportunities for growth. So if this person comes to you and as you're digging into the purpose, look for any synergies. See if you're investing your time in helping this person is also going to help you. It has to be a win-win. It has to be a win-win. Otherwise, why would you invest your time and efforts into an endeavor where you are going to lose and the other person is going to win? It does not make sense. But, when we are at work and we are in that, moment, we don't think through things this way. which is why it's very important to think about your career as this long term endeavor and have that clarity where you want to go so that you can make the decisions based on what will really propel you forward without sabotaging others, without sabotaging yourself, while making an impact on the company. Are you still with me? Drop a one if you are still with me. I want to make sure that you understand that the thought process behind this is not to be a mean person. It's about protecting yourself while being a team player, while being a leader, while making an impact, while growing in the company. Okay, so let's look at, so what are some of the opportunities for visibility, right? Well, you want to see whether this person is actually going to give you credit for what you have done, right? In meetings, are they going to acknowledge the effort that you put in to help them grow, right? Now, you cannot wait for chance. You cannot wish and hope that at the next staff meeting this person's gonna say that Rajesh helped with this problem, or Tina helped with that problem, or Vinita helped me with that problem. You want to proactively ask, hey, will you let the boss know? Can you send an email acknowledging how I helped you? Here's the thing, we hesitate. We hesitate in asking for what we secretly want for ourselves. Just casually saying, can you send a note to the boss letting them know that I was able to help you with that? Or can you acknowledge me in the staff meeting? This is a completely new concept for a lot of people. It's like, can I actually do that? Yes, you can, and you should. Or you yourself can send a note to the boss saying that, hey, I spent a couple of hours bringing, XYZ up to speed, and I was able to share with them what I know about this project. So letting the boss know, letting the leaders know wherever it applies. Taking that initiative and making yourself visibility is very important, because this is how you establish an executive presence. If we rely on others to give us credit, to give us recognition, we will keep waiting and nothing will happen. Again, if you watch my videos, I just share truth bombs with you. We have these thoughts going on in the back of our mind, because guess what, if somebody does not give us credit, we are playing that tape in our head the whole time. Oh, I helped this person so much, but look at them, they are so ingrate, they didn't even acknowledge my efforts. So instead of wasting your energy in processing emotions that are that are bringing a lot up for you, and you keep overthinking and over analyzing, it is not good for your physical or mental health. And it will, when you go to work, you are going to feel a little more demotivated. It's like, yeah, I do the work, but nobody cares. We don't wait for others to care about our work. We start caring about our work, and we start talking about how we are making an impact. The next thing is, you can also ask, is there a presentation opportunity? So let's share the presentation. I will share this part that I covered or I explained you, and you can talk about the other part. Or you can talk about, okay, so if you're making this presentation, I would like to be in that meeting. And that way, whether they like it or not, they will have to acknowledge you when you're in that meeting. This is the, when you hear people say work smarter, not harder, this is the part. This is the part. This is the smart part. How do you make yourself visible? How do you make yourself known? Because guess what? People who are sharing what they're doing, people who are making themselves known are the ones who get recognized. If we sit on the sidelines and just listen, quietly listen, and just soak in whatever is going on in the room, it will be very hard for people to see you and acknowledge you. So it's important that we take the initiative and really talk about the good things that we are doing. Then the next part, which is tied to the time commitment, is, hey, I can help you get started with some of these ideas. And then there are other resources. You can go to SharePoint. There is this, training document that you can reach out to. I know there was I had a client, and she was overworked. She was working, 60, 70 hours every week. And she was just tired and exhausted and didn't have any energy left to hang out with her son or cook or work out. Some, these activities were her favorite activities. And then as we dug deeper, she realized that she was spending a lot of time explaining and teaching the things that are already available on the company, shared platform, SharePoint. So then, as we worked together, she started directing people to, hey, I get it. Here's the link. Watch this document or watch this video. You will get up to speed. And that itself saved her so much time. The reason we feel overwhelmed is we are doing more than what is really necessary for us to thrive in our jobs. And here's another tendency as South Asians: we want to fit in. We want to be in people's good books. We don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So, what do? We bend backwards and we give just to make others feel good, just to please others. And we don't think about whether this action is actually going to propel me forward in my career or is it going to pull me back. And listen, I'm all about giving and teaching and making an impact and helping people grow and helping teams grow. I'm all about that. The key thing to keep in mind is you have to draw a line where you start realizing that, oh, this is actually hurting my career. If I am doing this much work, I'm actually sabotaging my career. This understanding is so important to ingrain in our minds. So what else you can do? So it can be a SharePoint. You can recommend some books that you have studied or you have read. There can be, websites that you can direct people to. There could be, company trainings that you can recommend them. And then it is their job to go to their bosses and figure out if there's a budget for their training or not. And then one other thing you can do is you can have them work on something. You can have them, go use these resources and then come back to you with specific questions. And you can answer those questions. But you are not solving the problem for them. You are not giving them everything that you know. And you are making sure that your get efforts get recognized. Because this is a common complaint, we South Asians have, right? We are doers, we are givers. And then when we don't get the recognition, we we feel that we are undervalued. We feel that nobody cares. And this feeling is not good. If this is the feeling we wake up with every single morning and go to work, guess what is going to happen? We won't have the motivation to, really bring our 100% to our job. Even if we love what we do, our confidence will go down, our self-esteem will go down. But when we go in feeling empowered, knowing this is where I want to go in my career, this is my path, then we keep railings around that path so that we don't deviate. We take on the tasks, we take on the projects, we take on the programs that actually help us move toward our goal and not get sidelined, not get distracted. I would really love to know your thoughts on this. Let me know if this is helpful or not. I would also love to know what other topics that I can talk about. There's one more thing. There's a gift that I want to offer you here, and I'm gonna share my screen with you here. Let me get this board situated here, and let me share my screen. Okay, so here's a tool that I have created. I call it the Leadership Skill Fit Analyzer. I know that a lot of you, South Asians, a lot of us get the feedback from our bosses that we need to work on our soft skills. We need to work on our communication. But nobody really breaks it down for us and tells us, well, what exactly do I need to work on? So I have made it easier for you to understand. And we are going to use a mathematical argument to figure out, where you are with your leadership um, capacity or ability. So basically, we all are good at our technical skills, right? Doctors, professors, as techies, as software engineers, technical leaders, right? We know our technicals part really well. But if you look at this chart here, right, even if you are 100% at your technical skills, and you're not great at these other leadership skills, I'll talk about them, your leadership fitness score is going to be pretty less. So, what are the different leadership skills that you need to work on? One is self confidence, right? You need to be confident even with if you want to continue in it as a technical expert, you still need that confidence, right? So you're not going anywhere if you don't have that confidence. It's going to be a very slow growth. Then there's non-verbal communication, there's verbal communication, and networking. Guess what? In today's day and age, if you do not know how to communicate verbally, how to communicate non-verbally, and if you do not know how to network with senior leaders, and if you lack confidence, the career journey is going to be very tricky, very hard, and it will take a long time for you to get into executive positions. And I make it easier for my clients to get into executive positions. Why? Because I make it accessible for them. I let them know that this is what is missing. So this is a tool I have created. If you go to the next tab, you will basically know what those what is included or what involves self-confidence or non-verbal communication, verbal communication, and networking. And I give a leadership perspective as well. So if you would like to figure out where you stand, what your leadership fitness score is, then drop a comment and say leadership. And I will share this tool with you, and you can play with it and figure out where it is that you need the most help so that you can have a path to then go after so that you can get to the leadership positions that you aspire for. And of course, you can share your results with me and we can do a deeper analysis and I will let you know exactly how you can get there. So if you are interested in this, drop leadership in the comment and I will share this tool with you. Also, if you are not following me on, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Please follow me. Please connect with me. Let me know how you found me. The handle is Unshackled Career Woman, and I will drop the links in the comment. And I would love to, you know, be on these, social media. I do some different things on each of the social media, and I would love to have you there. Until next time.